only me. So today I'm going to be talking about some female spies during World War One and World War Two. Obviously there was loads and loads of spies during both wars, but I'm just choosing to talk about these few women. Okay, so Mata Hari is a very famous spy in history. She was originally a dancer and she became a spy in World War One. She seduced diplomats and military officers by tricking them to tell her all their secrets. She was actually arrested in February of 1917 for espionage after she had intercepted an enemy telegram that exposed her as a German spy. It was put to her that she had actually revealed details of new weapons amongst many, many other things. She was executed, but according to eyewitnesses, she refused a blindfold. This is the type of thing that she would wear, which obviously exposed a lot of her body, which would obviously entice men. So now the next one is Harriet Tubman. She first worked as a cook and a nurse for the Union Army, but she later became a Union spy and a military commander. She escaped bondage in 1849 after being born into slavery. She got a job as a conductor in the underground. She went by the name of Moses and led more than 300 enslaved people to freedom. She gathered intel from the enemies. She led 3 US gunboats and 150 African American soldiers during a raid and rescued around 750 people altogether. Later in life, after caring for her parents in a home she had bought, she was very much active in the women's suffrage movement. As she aged, she moved into an elderly person's home for African American people that she had actually helped build. Virginia Hall served in the OSS as a field agent. She was known as the Limping Lady as she had an artificial leg. I'm not sure whether she was okay with the name or not, but that is what she was nicknamed. She actually created her own spy network and helped organise and arm French commandos. She would actually pose as a dairy farmer, scouting potential drop zones whilst herding cows. She learnt Morse code and would send messages out, send out intelligence reports and coordinate parachute drops. She sent out ambush plans and sabotage missions over the radio to officials in London. She helped find people safe houses and helped aid in medical assistance to agents and pilots. She was the only woman civilian in World War II who received the coveted Distinguished Service Cross. So amazing stuff. Now, Josephine Baker, she was a singer and a dancer, as well as being a French intelligence agent in World War II. Now, the German soldiers would let her across the border as they were so dazzled by her. She went by the name Black Pearl, which I think really would be deemed as offensive now. But little did they know, she would take over secret messages written in invisible ink on her music sheet. She was awarded the French Legion of Honour for her services. Something I wanted to add, which shows her personality, is that whilst in America, she refused to perform for segregated audiences. And in 1968 she was offered unofficial leadership in the movement in the United States, but after careful consideration she declined it because of obvious risks, so it just shows what a strong character she was. Now, Nita Khan, she was trained to become a radio operator in the Britain's Women Auxiliary Air Force. She went by the code name Madeleine. She was recruited by the Special Operations Executive in 1943, which made her the first female wireless operator, and she was sent from England to France. She alone maintained communications between London and occupied France. It was said that her superiors had different opinions of her. Some thought she was very childlike and she gave too much information. She came without the foggiest idea of what she was being trained for. But others said that she had a very gentle nature. She had a kind heart and didn't like to be two-faced. Another positive comment was that she was feminine, eager to please and adapt herself to the mood of the company, and held conversations well. She obviously proved that she was good at what she did, and it was likely that one, being of an Indian heritage from Moscow, had people doubting her ability, and two, being a woman. So despite those, she was awarded the George Cross in 1949, which made her the first South Asian woman to be awarded one. Unfortunately, she was caught in 1943. She refused to give away any information. She attempted 2 escapes, and she made a third escape, but she was caught shortly after and unfortunately executed by the Gestapo in 1944. Julia Child worked for the OSS in World War II. Originally, she wanted to join the military, but was denied due to her being too tall. She was 6'2". So she started out as a secretary, which was obviously a very feminine job, but she was soon given much more responsibility due to her drive and cheerfulness. She was classed as an inspiration to people. She amazingly designed a repellent for sharks so they would not trigger bombs in the sea by experimenting with different cooking ingredients and used them to sprinkle it in the sea, and amazingly it worked. She received an emblem of Mauritius civilian whilst posted in China as head of the registry of the OSS Secretariat. She later had her own cooking show and she wrote books. She was seen as an inspiration to women in the 1960s. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.